Alright, what's up, strugglers? Welcome to another weekly trading recap. And so, for this video, I'm gonna go through all the trades that I took last week. And so, this week was actually a plus 4% week, and for once, I'm actually breaking my losing streak. It was much needed. But yes, let's go over the trades that I took. And so, actually, my first trade was a loss, it was on crude oil. And so I took this trade on Monday, and the reason why was because coming into last week, I could see that we were trading off this bullish weekly fair value gap, and we had created a bearish weekly fair value gap. And my thought process was that, okay, if we're coming off of this bullish weekly fair value gap, we could actually target this bearish one right there since there's low resistance, right? And so coming off of that bullish fair value gap, I could see that we were sweeping the previous day low, and I was basically just looking for an entry, and I saw that we had inversed this 4-hour bearish fair value gap. And basically coming into that morning, I took a long right there on the 1 hour time frame right there with my stop loss on this swing low that was respecting this 1 hour fair value gap, and I got stopped out, which is fine. Honestly, my mistake here in this trade is that even though on the higher time frame I thought that we had low resistance, right, and we could go higher to this bearish weekly fair value gap, price action was just really ugly on the lower time frame. Like, this candle right here was a sign that honestly we were going lower. We were sweeping all these swings high to go lower, and it was just ugly to enter from it. So, but besides that, honestly, I have nothing to say. I respected my plan. I risked 1% that day, and I went from there. Alright, so the second trade that I took was on GU, and I took it on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And so I saw that we had a bullish weekly fair value gap after disrespecting the bearish one right here. And so during the week, I saw that we traded into the weekly bullish fair value gap, and we inversed this 4-hour one, and I was actually looking to target this swing high. And to actually have an entry, I saw that we formed this 4-hour bearish fair value gap, and we actually traded into it right here, and we can see from this wick that we were respecting this 4-hour fair value gap to potentially go higher and target this swing high right here. And so at this point, I'm basically looking at the 15-minute, right? And I saw that we had some opposing resistance in the form of this 15-minute. So I was just waiting for more confirmation, and I saw that after some time we formed this bullish fair value gap right here. And so, like, at that moment of time, I don't want to enter right now because we could potentially respect this bearish 15-minute fair value gap. So I'm just waiting for more confirmation, and I saw that we respected now the bullish one right here, and we formed another one right there. And this for me confirmed that we are respecting not only the 15-minute fair value gap but the 4-hour right here to go higher into this weekly target. And so I entered right here off of the second 15-minute fair value gap with my stop loss right here. And basically I could have targeted just the 4-hour context right here. So basically respecting this bullish 4-hour fair value gap to target this swing high right here. However, like I mentioned, we're respecting this weekly fair value gap, right? This weekly fair value gap, so we could target this swing low right here, this swing high, sorry. So yes, I entered off the 15-minute fair value gap, like I mentioned, and I targeted this swing high right here for a potential 3.5R. So yes, after a while, we went higher and actually formed another 4-hour bullish fair value gap right here. And this for me was a potential second entry, right? Because I'm still targeting this weekly target, right? I'm still in profits with the first trade, but I'm at break even. I'm looking for another entry to potentially make more. And so of this 4 hour bullish revive gap, I'm looking for the same thing that I mentioned before. Like right here, I entered off this 15-minute bullish revive gap, and I'm looking for the same thing right here. So we're coming into the bullish 4 hour revive gap, and I'm just basically looking for an ST or an inverse revive gap. Basically, I think we had it right here. So this was my second entry right there of this 15-minute revive gap for a 1.5. I think I entered right here, yes, before sleeping, and so I just slept through the night, and price hit my TP in the morning. Honestly, this was such a nice price action trade. I loved how we just formed new fair value gaps every single time, and price was clean, was moving fast. And I'm also glad that I added to my position, because one of my main things when I trade is that when I'm in profits, I'm always looking for another entry, and that might be controversial for some people. Like, I see some people, they like to take profit at some levels, right? But I don't know, I just don't work like that. Every time that I'm in profits, I like to be hopeful with my trades. I like to just think, how can I enter again while being break even in my initial trade, right? So I can have some good risk management at the same time. Because when I entered again right here, of course, I'm at break even right here on the first trade, so I'm not losing anything on the first trade. Like, worst case scenario, I'm not making any money, but I'm not losing anything, right? And so I'm just adding to my position, because when I see that the market is agreeing with me, I try to take the most advantage of it, and just enter again by respecting my plan and by managing my risk. And like, looking back at it, honestly, I could have entered even again, right? So this was my second trade, and I think in that morning, or I think I was sleeping. That's why I didn't. I don't know. Let's see. Like, coming off of this second 4 hour Fairvalue gap, like, we had some beautiful price action on the 15-minute with these Fairvalue gaps. So, for example, here, like, we still didn't target the weekly high, and we're so close to it. So these 15-minute Fairvalue gaps are so high probability, right? And so I basically could have even went to the 5-minute and taken like an ST off of this, and a entry off of this 15-minute Fairvalue gap, for example, right here, with the creation of this candle right here, for another 1 to 2, but I didn't. Yeah, because it was at 4 in the morning, I wasn't awake. But honestly, this is pretty low time frame for me. I like to stick to the 15-minute and above, but like, it's just another example that I could have entered again and potentially made more, but I'm still pretty glad with really glad with this trade. But yeah, at this point of time, I was up 4% on the week, and I actually took other trades, right? So on US 30, I saw that on the weekly time frame, we were respecting this bullish fair value gap, and basically disrespecting these bearish fair value gaps. And I was targeting this swing high right here, and so coming off of this weekly fair value gap right here, I saw that on the 4 hour we had a really nice push up higher off of the weekly fair value gap, sweeping this low right here, and off of this 4 hour fair value gap we form another one right here, right there, disrespecting this bearish one, and this was just confirmation for me that we were going higher. And so I actually entered, I think, right here, because we had swept this high, and so I was looking for more confirmation. And once we swept this low right here, going higher, I entered around here, having my stop loss right there for a 1 to 2. I think my entry was around here, around this candle right here for 1 to 2. And so yes, honestly, this was so close to hitting my take profit. Like, look at that. Why didn't why didn't it just target this high? I don't even know, but I remember, and this is the downside of what I was actually talking like a moment ago of adding to my position. Like, I came into the morning, I think price action was like that, exactly like that. no, not this candle, right here. So I saw that we were so close of targeting this high, and I was still in the trade, and I decided to hold because we could go higher from this 4-hour fair value gap, right? We could go higher from this fair value gap. So I remember during that session, I was just looking for a 15-minute bullish fair value gap. That's all I was looking for every single time. So I'm waiting just for a bullish fair value gap so I can enter again and potentially make more, like I mentioned before. And we went first into this 4-hour fair value gap. We actually formed this 15-minute fair value gap, but it was pre-market open. We had this bearish one, so I was waiting, and we actually traded down into this 4-hour fair value gap. So I was like, okay, maybe now we can go higher, right? And I'm waiting, and we just went lower and lower and lower, and I just didn't have a second entry, and I got stopped out right here at break even. So, if I'm not mistaken, in the beginning of the week, I was actually down 3.5% on the 100K funded account. And by losing the first trade that I mentioned on oil, I was down 4.5%. And so now with the GU trade that I took that allowed me to have a 5% trade profit, I'm up 0.5% on the 100K funded account. So this is basically to say where I'm at right now with the funded account. So I'm back to break even with the account. It's actually crazy now that I think about it. Like with that GU trade, that big winner, I was able to make back 2 weeks worth of losses. Like that's crazy. And honestly, I don't like to just compare my trades to other and think like that by saying, oh, I just managed to take back the losses that I took on, because I like to think that every single week, every single trade, every single day is unique, and everything is simply different. Like no trades are correlated, no trades, like I'm just a process oriented trader and I focus on that. But it's still crazy that that one single win allowed me to take back all the losses. These were the trades that I took this week. I'm really glad with my performance. I stick to the higher time frame like I promised myself I would do in the previous videos. And you can literally see the difference in this video. Like look at this video and look at the first trading recap that I posted on YouTube. On that first trading recap, I was literally trading on the 1 minute time frame. The 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and like as soon as I told myself I just need to stick to the higher time frame like I've always been doing. Now I'm seeing a little bit of success. Hopefully that goes on. But trading wise, I'm really happy of my performance. But honestly, outside of trading, there's still some things that I need to work on. For example, like the first half of the week, I perfectly did my morning routine. But coming into Friday, I just slept late again. I woke up late and I've been in a slump for the weekend. Like I'm struggling to wake up early, go to the gym. It's always like that. I always start the week so well by waking up early, doing my routines and doing everything that I need to do. But then coming into the weekend, sometimes I go out, I sleep late, I woke up late, and it just messes up the week overall. So I need to be consistent. I need to be disciplined and stick to doing my routine. And I'm sure that I would succeed by sticking simply to the higher time frame and being disciplined. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you strugglers on the next trading recap.